Hey everyone, what's up? Jordan Norell here. Driving down the west coast. I am moving from Fargo, North Dakota to Simi Valley, little town right outside of Los Angeles, California. And I'm 300 miles from LA now. I actually just stayed with my friend Carter Steinhoff, who heads up the intactivist organization Forefront. He's in Seattle, and so we hung out for a couple days around Bellevue area. It was gorgeously beautiful. Wow, that place is wonderful. We had a good time talking mostly about genital mutilation, most of the time. Although a lot of other great things too. It was a really it was a beautiful. I told him about my new organization I'm founding, and he said he may be interested in joining. And so that was cool, and he's doing so many good projects. Really on the side of... sorry if this isn't great cinema, by the way. It's ironic because I'm moving to LA, and I know this is... I tried to make this setup as good as possible. It's still, could be better, but whatever. Carter really has this interest in, finding justice for men who have suffered the horrors of genital mutilation, aka circumcision, and really seeking sort of restitution and financial compensation of hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've mentioned before on if you're a parent and you really want to try to give your son his due for what you've done to him, if you've circumcised your son and really want to compensate in a way that's realistic and sensible, you should probably liquidate all of your assets, become homeless, sell your house, everything you own, every penny you have, you should give to him, and that wouldn't even begin to cover. I mean, you should be slaving away 100 hours a week for the rest of your life to try to earn millions of dollars to give him. Would be like a very minimal realistic compensation for genital mutilation. It still wouldn't even touch it, honestly, but it would at least be, a token attempt to show him that you actually understand. It's funny. I've done so much healing work. I feel like I've kind of forgiven my parents for my own sake, because I just feel like it's kind of unrealistic to expect that from society or from parents or from anyone. I think unfortunately our justice system is it doesn't work that way. It doesn't give victims their due in most circumstances, and certainly not in the case of circumcision, which is profoundly unrecognized as even being not, like, it's still thought to be good for you in most of the United States, and we will change that very soon. It is changing, but I don't see it shifting that radically that it would, and then kind of retroactively working that parents would then be held responsible for their actions, which it's negligence. It's negligence and ignorance, but there's no malintent, and so in a sense to me it is kind of weird to expect, even though I feel personally that my parents are the most responsible of anybody by far, certainly, but at the same time I feel like it's unrealistic that society will go along with that. So I really appreciate where Carter's coming from, and I hope that he does succeed, and I know that his message will resonate with a lot of men, and I know that he will help further the cause, because just not enough people are taking this stance that really we do deserve to, like, at the very least, have a shot at foreskin regeneration. It's really only a few $100 million would probably be sufficient to achieve it, or if it's achievable. I assume it is achievable. I think it is achievable. I don't even know if it would actually be that difficult, which is the crazy thing. It's like it probably somewhere between a few million and a few $billion would totally would give us a full regeneration of the foreskin, and that's not, in the grand scheme of things, that much money. So I don't think we need, every man to have hundreds of thousands of dollars. I think we just need a few million or $1 billion to go into that, into developing that surgery, and then the $10,000 to $20,000 that it will cost to give the men that surgery. And I think that's reasonable, and I think that's what my organization will aim for, as on that front, is to have regeneration provided for all men, free of cost. Is a kind of a minimum reasonable, I think, compensation for the government literally allowing millions of men to have this terrible, unspeakably horrible experience of genital mutilation. Anyhow, that's my thoughts on that. It was a great weekend. We had a lot of fun, and just the craziness of it all. It's like, it's really quite fascinating. It's really quite fascinating sounds too positive, but it's like surreal. Being in this place right now, and being the only one, or the only few people in the world, and from the history of the beginning of the world, from however many billions of years the world has been here, that are actually finally taking account for this most horrible of horrible things, the genital mutilation of children. And there really isn't, I don't know if there's anything worse. I can't, to me there isn't anything worse. I don't think there can be anything worse in my mind than the genital mutilation of children. I just, it's literally torturing, the pleasure organ of your body, and then excising that, and then by far